Hi, my name's David Morris. This is my technology assignment for biomechanics. The piece of technology that I want to critique today is an app for smartphone devices and smart pad devices that can also be used to communicate with PCs. Basically, this app is used to take a video of a performance. I then, as the coach, will analyse it. I can draw on it, I can use free body diagrams, angles, and I can write notes to explain how the biomechanical principles related to those points. I'll then review this with the athlete, either in person immediately or through a networking at a later date, and talk about how we're going to use the information to improve their performance. To assist with the biomechanical side of this assignment, which I'm focusing on the activity of sprinting, I watched another analysis on Usain Bolt done by an ex-Olympic gold medalist called Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson now also is a performance analyst himself. Okay, the video that I watched and another article, both of which I'll reference later, talked about 4 stages to sprinting that had biomechanical principles. The first stage, it contains 2 principles. It's the explosive stage. Alright, it's at the start, they're on the blocks, and they've got to generate the maximum amount of force to go. The 2 principles I'm talking about involved in this stage is potential energy and ground reaction forces. Okay, and specifically the ground reaction force change from what would be if they didn't have the blocks to if they had the blocks, which is an angle change, which means that they're creating more horizontal movement and less vertical movement. The potential energy is where they're getting ready to spring, and as soon as the gun goes, all that potential energy is turned into linear motion. Okay, second stage. Second stage has a few more components. It talks about a low center of gravity, alright, keeping your body low, your head low, which creates a streamlined position, but it also creates momentum. Okay, you're pumping your arms. Okay, so by that you're pulling your arms right back, alright, and then you're driving them straight forward. Okay, avoiding crossing over, which changes the angle of where the force is going, keeping it straight. Okay, another concept here is pushing off the toes, and it's important to probably talk about how all this relates to the summation of forces. So here you've got your arms moving, generating a force. You've got your legs extending, generating a force. And at the final point, when the legs are at their peak, you're pushing off your toes to get that extra acceleration going. To help increase the acceleration at this stage, they're taking shorter strides. So your stride length is how far your feet are apart. Okay, shorter stride lengths correlate to a shorter rotational radius of the foot. So if you look at this here, talking about rotational movement, okay, a shorter stride correlates to a shorter radius, which means less effort is needed to generate acceleration at the start. Okay, moving on to the third stage of sprinting. Okay, this is where they've reached their maximum speed and they want to maintain it. They're going to start doing longer strides. Okay, so they've already got the speed up. They're doing longer strides now to keep that extra force pushing them forwards. Alright, they've got their body upright and their head relaxed, trying not to do too much rotation. Alright, keeping their whole body moving forward, not off on tangents. Okay, the fourth stage really is just deceleration. In the last 20 meters or so, they're getting fatigued. Alright, so they're going to start slowing down a little bit. There's not really too much biomechanical principles to this. It's just they're getting tired, the frequency of their rotation is dropping. Okay, how the Huddle app helps me get this information to the athlete is on the video, I'll pause frames at different points. I can slow it down, so go into slow motion so I can analyse and see small detail, and when I find the point that I want, I'll pause it and I'll start drawing diagrams on the video like I've got here. So here you've got the angle of the body to the ground. Right, so the lower the angle in this phase, which is the second stage, all right, where they're trying to create acceleration. All right, they're keeping their body low. So the angle there is showing whether they're too low, too high, how we're going to adjust it to get the performance right. You can talk about the base of support and the center of gravity and how that's going to affect their momentum. The arm swing, so the angle of the arm swing, some people might be doing too short arm swings, so you can analyze that and encourage them to get bigger arm swings. The other thing that I could do on here is show them what forces are acting on their body. So if I see, that they're lifting their body up too much, I'll start explaining how wind resistance is going to slow them down. If they're lifting their body up too high, I'm going to explain to them how keeping their center of gravity low is going to help generate more force. Okay, that's how the app helps me translate the information or analyze the information. I will then use the app to show the athlete immediately if they've got another round to go or another race to do, that information is going to benefit them. Or if they're in a training phase, they can go home at a later date, look through the information, and we can work on it for a couple of weeks on how they're going to improve it and then reassess them. Some of the good things about this app is that it's a useful tool to describe performance improvements to the athlete, show them what things act on the body, so what forces act on the body, and what angles, and using free body diagrams to show them how we can manipulate their body, manipulate the forces to improve their performance. It's cheap. It's a free app. Now you can purchase extensions to it, but in itself you don't really need to. It's a cheap app. It's free. Applications, it uses a common device. Everybody's got a smartphone or a tablet these days, so that's probably where the expense is, but you've got one already, the app's free. Okay, it's portable. The good thing about a phone or the iPad devices is you can take it anywhere, and you can get cases and additional accessories to better the use, better the performance of the app. Okay, you can get lens accessories attached to them to create wider lenses, so that the small phone can actually get a wide range of view. You can get cases that are either waterproof, so you can analyze swimmers, or you can get other cases that are shockproof and things like that. Or you can even get cases that attach to tripods. Some of the other features of the app is, as I spoke about before, is you can slow the movement down or you can speed it up. And this helps you analyze and find small details that you might have missed otherwise. And you can remotely connect and share with PC computers, and anyone who has the app or the program on the computer, they can access that information. So if I'm working with an athlete, I can tag them as you would like in a network device, and then they can later review it at their own leisure at their home. They don't need me there. Some of the cons to this type of device is that it's dependent on the battery life of the device that you're using. So if you haven't been home for a day, or you're away on a trip or whatever, and you've only got 30% battery, well, it's going to reduce the amount of time you're going to have to use it for your athletes. You may need additional accessories, and these things are going to cost you. So the extra lenses or the tripods or the cases that we spoke about, these things are where the cost is going to start to increase. If you want 3D imaging of that one and same movement, you need multiple devices. The good thing about this app is that you can import videos and put them alongside each other. So if I had 3 different phones or 3 different cameras analysing the same movement at the same time, I can later incorporate them all together. But you still need all those devices there. And the precision of the equipment, alright, the precision of the analysis that it's giving you is dependent upon the person who's analysing the information. It doesn't give you the information, it just makes it easier for you to analyse what the athlete is doing. Just before I finish, the articles where I got the information from for this assignment is the article online is livestrong.com Phases of Sprinting article. The video on YouTube is Michael Johnson's YouTube video analyses Usain Bolt sprinting. Sorry, that's Michael Johnson's analyses Usain Bolt sprinting. And some of the other information comes from the lectures of SPE 205 Biomechanics. Thank you for your time.